Now, every springtime, as Coyote traveled up onto the Spruce Prairie, he would stop and look on the village to see how his people were getting along. And one spring, Coyote noticed that his people, they weren't doing very well. They were just pitiful and had nothing to eat. At that time, there was no such thing as the Columbia River. There was only a huge lake to the west of us, and there was a long stretch of mountains that separated the lake from the ocean. Now, Coyote, he was smart enough to know that if he dug a hole through those mountains, the water in the lake would drain into the ocean and form a river. The salmon could swim out of the ocean up the river. His people could catch those salmon and have plenty to eat. So Coyote gathered his things and prepared for a long journey. Early the next morning, he got up and he started singing his traveling song, following the banks of that huge lake all the way to a place near what we call Portland today. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Wrong traveling song. Okay, let me see here. That's what happens when you get stuck traveling with kids all the time. Let me see. Let's try this one. He sat down to rest. When he was rested, he took out his medicine bundle and he used his great powers to dig a hole through those mountains. And the water in the lake drained into the ocean and formed the Columbia River. The salmon swam out of the ocean up the river, and his people had plenty to eat. Now when Coyote did this, he created a stone bridge. And the old people used to talk about being able to walk from one side of the Columbia to the other. But a few years later, there was a great earthquake and it broke that bridge down. The pieces of stone that fell into the water formed the cascades of the Columbia, and that's how Coyote created the Columbia River and brought salmon to his people.